Okay, people, I'm back with part two. Here are some of the mangas and manhwas like Solo Leveling that you should read. To be a true adventurer is to live your life to the fullest and conquer any challenge by yourself. There's no one in this world who can hold your hand and guide you throughout your journey. Here we have collected some of the best mangas like Solo Leveling, which were enjoyable and carried an overall good message in them. If you haven't checked the first part out, then it will be in the description below, so check it out. Let's begin with part two. Number 10, we have Imaginator. I personally enjoy this. It's like solo leveling, but with guns instead of fantasy weapon. The art is really good, and the character development and the story progress are a bit slow but acceptable. Better than other mangas, how the plot will just be like Usain Bolt through the story just to get to the fan service. In the far future, a meteor falls towards Earth but suddenly disappears the moment it is about to land. At the same time, the world is now covered with monsters and people who start getting superpowers. The world is starting to change and evolve. When Tae Min Park realizes something beyond, he does everything he can to find the truth of freedom. Overall, it's a really good manga, and if you're looking for something like Soul Leveling, then this is it. Number 9. Eri Fureta. From Commonplace to World's Strongest. Don't watch the anime. It's just please don't watch the anime. It is an utter disaster. However, the manga is good. The art is the manga, of course. It's very sharp and very violent, befitting the story. There are some really nicely detailed parts when a classroom of students is transported to another world to act as its saviors. Hajime Nogumo finds himself the weakest link, as his friends and classmates granted strong classes and impressive abilities due to their existing skills. He is given the weak title of Synergist. When a dungeon quest leaves him separated from his group, Hajime must discover his own talents or be left to rot in this world forever. This is dope, just read it. The story is actually entertaining, the characters have good personalities, like I said, there is a harem, so if you're into that, it'll make the manga more fun to read. Number 8. Dreamside. The story was phenomenal. It's one of those very rare kind of things where it makes you feel the emotions immersively. The art is quite unique, but it fits with the story real good. The characters were really thought out and realistic. Overall, this was one of the best mangas I've ever read. He's trying to, he's trying, I guess. He's trying his absolute best to help everyone. He takes all the responsibilities as a leader. He keeps improving in each chapter and at a fast pace. Hazin Nam had always been plagued by nightmares, but one day he dreams of an apocalyptic world 7 years in the future where humans are fighting to survive among demons and zombies. Hazin dismisses the dream as another nightmare until he finds out Yuri Hong, the girl he had seen in his dream, has transferred into his school. With his ability to switch back and forth between his school life and the oncoming apocalypse, will Hazin be able to prevent what causes the world's destruction? Overall, it's a pretty good manga, man. Number 7. Murim Login. This is a pretty good manga. It's an interesting mix between solo leveling and a cultivation manga, and it makes it unique. Although this manga might be a pile of different generic tropes, in my opinion, it executes those tropes extremely well. I don't usually find the different mangas marked as comedy all that funny, but this one actually managed to make me laugh multiple times. Also, the fight scene plot all are really good. The great pacing, the likable MC, and interesting plot. The main character gets trapped in a life or death virtual reality video game. And what if the main character, who was stronger than normal humans but weaker than other enhanced humans, had some crazy stuff happen to him, so he got super powerful? With a little, what if there was a story where a weakling in Chinese, Murim, had cheats and got stronger than everyone around him? Like solo leveling, of course. What more can a person ask for, man? Just read it. Number 6. I Log In Alone. Pretty great, actually. Overall, it is another solo leveling manga. It's just that it lacks that punch that solo leveling had. The world building is good, the main character is somewhat cool, I guess, and the MC is constantly leveling up and learning new skills. This manga is not a copy of Solo Leveling, but it's kind of similar in a way or another. In my opinion, it's got a pretty high quality and it's pretty enjoyable. And if you're looking for a nice boost manga, this one will more than suffice. The art is pleasing and the story is good and the characters are all unique. Definitely recommended, yo. Number 5. The skeleton soldier failed to defend the dungeon. This title started off different and I was enjoying it. From the no-name MC to the way he was able to learn through his mistakes, but his story took too long to make you laugh. The MC, which is a skeleton that was a regular skeleton soldier in the dungeon protecting his lady necromancer up until he failed, responds every time he is killed at a save point. As you would say, he uses his failures as knowledge on not to make the different choices. The story loses you after, the failure keeps happening and happening and happening, and the story goes from somewhat interesting to I don't know what else. It is kind of like Solo Leveling, but somehow when he levels up, it is among the top isekais for me. And it only gets better with chapters. Overall, it's pretty good. Number 4. Hail the King. Hail the King is a Chinese manga, or should I say manhwa, and most of its chapters are still not translated. It is a pretty good isekai though, about a guy who transmigrated into a body of a young king. The story is filled with passion though, to win or to get stronger, and it makes it really interesting. The art style is really fine. I mean, it's a fine one to be honest, as it also pictures the scenes clearly. So yeah, I absolutely recommended this manga for isekai lovers, but it also applies to readers who like Solo Leveling. The story is pretty good, but I kind of like the novel more than the manga. Overall, it's a pretty nice manga with the OPMC. We are heading on the top 3. Number 3. Seoul Station's Necromancer. So, this one is a great necromancer manga out there when former high school student Kang Woo-jin finds himself returned back to Earth after being forcefully summoned to a foreign planet for 20 years. He soon finds that Earth is not the same normal place as he once remembered it to be. With his former strength and age reset back to zero, watch Kang Woo-jin as he gets back on the path to becoming the world's strongest necromancer. It is like Solo Leveling, where the MC can summon and use that for his advantage. It's pretty good, I recommend it. Number 2. Players starting from today. Another weak to strong manga, just like Solo Leveling. Hunters are sponsored by patrons as the 12 most brilliant heroes establish Eden, calling themselves gods. That's the time when I, Lee Jun-kyung, lived. I lived the life of a cattle, like any other ordinary man. One book I had was about a forgotten hero, a bibliography of a true hero. Athena, one of the 12 rulers of Eden, comes to me. Do you want to go to the past, more than 100 years ago? To the days when hunters appeared? This one who sponsored the king supported me. I continue to walk similarly to the life in which the hero lived. I dream of a better future than the king. The power I have now. The hunter beyond the hunter, being a player. I am a player from today onwards. The beginning is great. And the story and the development is a normal pace one. The art is not the best, but it's pretty good. I recommend this one. I gotta. Number 1. Solo Max Level Newbie. You guys have seen one, come on, let's be real. You guys have seen this one on the list before, right? It's been here. The art is great and it's one of the better ones out there, and I won't say it's a ripoff of Solo Leveling. It has its own story, but it's pretty good. It's good to read. The MC knows everything about the game and he realized that he has to complete every game that he started. I think the subject is similar to Omniscient Reader, basically the same kind of story. The game becoming a reality and the system and the dungeons, yada yada yada. But still, it's not that boring to be honest. It's enjoyable in its own ways. I think this will be a good manga for the void that Solo Leveling is going to leave us with. The story is different than it, but it's more game-based. And I definitely recommend it for sure. I mean, it can't replace Solo Leveling, but come on, it's pretty good. That's all for today, folks. Hope you enjoyed the video. Part 3 is coming, so stay tuned. If you do, then please give this video a like, share it with your friends and your family, and of course, subscribe for more top 10. Stay safe and take care. My name is Zita Khan, and I'm the voice of the voiceless. See you next time.